Hi, third grade. This is Miss Boss. I'm going to show you really quickly how we are going to use gram stackers to measure objects in class. So the first thing I want to introduce you to is this balance scale. Okay, it's a pan balance. The one thing we need to make sure is every time you start with something that is balancing is that you have it to where it is in the middle, which means that those are equal. It's hard to see my computer. What we use in third grade are these little things called gram stackers. So this represents 20 grams, this represents 5 grams, this represents 10 grams, and these little guys represent 1 gram. So what we do is if I wanted to measure a stack of Post-it notes, okay, well right now the Post-it notes weigh more than nothing that's inside of here. So what I would do is I would start putting gram stackers in here, okay, and I would see if I can get it to balance. Right now I have 15 gram stackers and still a little heavy, so I'm going to add some ones in here. And we're going to see if those even out. They're getting there. If I add another one, what will happen? I call that pretty even. So Post-it notes weigh about a stack of Post-it notes. This is a pretty good stack of Post-it notes, okay? So what I found is that Post-it notes weigh, I have a 10 and a 5, which makes 15, plus 2 ones, so 17 grams. So on your paper, you would write Post-it notes, and you would write how much it weighs, which would be 17 grams. Now, if you're watching this video and you are virtual, you are probably not going to have some gram stackers at home, which is okay. You can also measure using these balance scales with marbles. You could measure them with M&Ms if you wanted to. So I actually have some few M&Ms here from our project this week. I'm going to show you how we can use those to measure different objects. So I have some chapstick here that I'm going to put in that pan, and I'm going to use M&Ms to measure. And I'm just going to start putting a couple of M&Ms in here until, oh, that weighs too much. Do you see how whenever I put M&Ms in here, it went down? That means that I have too many and it's not equal. So I'm going to take a few out. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's getting there. This is kind of like what we've done in first or second grade, where we use non-metric items to measure and the weight of things. So we're trying to look for mass, which usually is measured with grams. However, if you don't have grams available, then you can use other things to measure. So then I would count up how many M&Ms that chapstick actually weighs, right? Or the amount of mass. So there's different ways that you can do this. In third grade, we typically use gram stackers to measure the mass of objects, and then we compare objects to see which one is heavier or lighter. On a scale, the heavier item goes down, okay, the lighter object goes up. So if I were to push this, this means that this object would be less weight than this, or have less mass than this side. So if there are a couple of games that you are going to play today online, and some of you, if you have this at home, you can use this to measure different items. If you don't, the games actually are going to have a scale like this, and you are going to add grams to one side and an object on the other side. So you'll get to see how you can make the balance even to figure out the weight of objects and the mass of objects. So I look forward to being able to see how you do this today.